You're listening to the Cyberwire Network, powered by N2K.
Do you know how the space and cybersecurity domains connect? T-Minus Space Cyber Briefing is your guide through the space-based systems that expand the attack surface. I'm Maria Varmazis, host here at N2K Cyberwire, and I'm excited to share that T-Minus is back, now as a weekly podcast, the T-Minus Space Cyber Briefing. We have a new dedicated focus on two great things that are even better together, space and cybersecurity. Because whether we realize it or not, we all depend on space-based systems that are, by the way, increasingly internet-enabled. We're talking cybersecurity technologies, policies, and organizations that are securing the critical space-based infrastructure that powers, protects, and connects our lives here on Earth. So join me for T-Minus Space Cyber Briefing, new episodes every Sunday.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Hacking Humans podcast, where each week we look behind the social engineering scams, phishing schemes, and criminal exploits that are making headlines and taking a heavy toll on organizations around the world. I'm Dave Bittner, and joining me is Joe Kerrigan. Hey, Joe.
Hi, Dave.
And our N2K colleague from the T-Minus Space Cyber podcast, Maria Varmazis. Maria.
Hello, Dave, and hello, Joe.
And our very special guest, Kieran Human, lead cybersecurity engineer at ThreatLocker. Kieran, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
We've got some good stories to share this week. We don't have any follow-up this week, so let's take a quick break here to hear from our sponsors, which happens to be ThreatLocker. When we come back, we'll dive into our stories. Stay tuned. Every attacker counts on one thing: environments that trust too much. ThreatLocker closes that gap with Default Deny at execution. Unknown software? Blocked. Trusted apps? Contained with ring fencing. Configurations? Verified with ThreatLocker DAC so you stay secure and compliant. ThreatLocker delivers the visibility and control CISOs need without adding operational pain, making zero trust real for teams of any size. Stop ransomware at its earliest point. Book a demo at threatlocker.com/N2K. All right, we are back, and I am going to kick things off for us here today. I've got a story. This comes from the FBI, and this is an interesting little escalation of social engineering. This is from the folks over at Bleeping Computer, whose story we're referencing. They're saying that the Silent Ransom Group, also known as SRG, they're targeting U.S. law firms, but beyond just regular social engineering and trying to break into people's accounts, they're using in-person data theft tactics. It says they're using social engineering, pretending to be internal IT support through phone calls and phishing emails, so nothing unusual there. But if those remote access attempts fail, they might actually send someone to the office, to the victim's office, to put a malicious USB drive or plug an external hard drive into their computers.
That's some high-touch scamming. It's kind of quaint.
Yeah. So before we dig into some of the details, what do we all make of this? Kieran, you're new with us here. What's your take on this?
I mean, I'm quite surprised that they're sending the in-person people. That's much higher risk, especially against the government. But, I mean, it's a classic thing, trying to get someone to plug in that malicious USB. I've done many presentations with just how much damage you can do by quickly plugging in a single USB.
Yeah. This reminds me that, how do I say this? I have done this.
Wait, you have gone to an office and posed as IT?
No, even worse. Oh. I've let the person in.
Oh, no.
Dave! All right.
Yeah.
I click links, but come on.
Well, so here, just a couple weeks ago, I was here at our studio space, which is a share. We're sort of behind the scenes here. Cyberwire is part of an incubator space called Data Tribe, And so we have some space here, but it's also shared with a bunch of other different startup organizations and that sort of thing. So I was here one morning all by myself, which is not unusual, especially in this day of remote work. And the doorbell rings, and I go and I answer the door, and there's a perfectly normal-looking gentleman there, and he says, "Hi." He says, "I'm here to fix the mini split air conditioner in the server room." And I gave him a once-over, and he had tools on his belt, and those little.
Did he have a ladder?
He did
Little
not
hard
have
hat.
a ladder, but he did have
Clipboard.
Those little
Clipboard's really
pressure
important.
little pressure meters that HVAC guys have.
Sure.
Yeah, he had a set of those.
Okay.
So I was like, "Come on in." So not only did I lead him to the server room, I unlocked the server room door for him, let him in.
So nice of you.
Yeah, just, Now, moments after I did this, the office manager showed up, and she was happy to see that I had let this person in and into the room and all that kind of thing. So disaster averted.
He was supposed to be there then.
He was supposed to be there. It was
Okay.
a planned appointment. I didn't
All right.
know anything about it. But my point is how easily any of us, maybe this is just me. I'm very trusting, right? And I also don't want to be, I don't want to confront this person. I don't want to be adversarial. It's just not in my nature. So I basically let this guy in and handed him the keys to the digital kingdom.
I
Yep.
mean, it's
Pen testers love you.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's easy to do. I mean, the reason I ask if he had a ladder, and Dave, I think you've heard this before because you laughed at that, but you can get anywhere if you just carry a ladder around.
Yeah. It's better than a clipboard,
Right.
right?
Clipboard will get you in just about anywhere, though.
Right. But a ladder, people will actually hold the door for you.
Right.
Oh, yeah. So nice.
Yeah.
I've seen videos of people getting into movie theaters with ladders. Just walk into the theater, and as soon as they do that, the guy taking tickets just opens the little velvety ropes
Yeah.
and says, "Come on in this way."
Yeah.
I don't know
We
where
don't
you're
usually
going.
give people pro tips on how to do this kind of stuff, but I
Right.
feel like all right, I'm writing
Right.
that one down.
You just
Right.
set the ladder outside the theater, then you just go in and.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you'd have to hide the ladder, or else they might know something's up.
Right. Right.
The cost of a movie theater ticket is a lot less than the cost of a ladder. So
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. A couple other details here. This silent ransom group, they also go by the name Luna Moth or Chatty Spider, depending on, which defensive organization you ask.
you ever seen a Luna moth?
Yes, I have.
They're huge.
They are. Yes, they're quite beautiful.
Yes.
We have them around here.
Mhm.
This group has been active since 2022, and they seem to focus on legal and financial organizations. And the FBI, again, sent out this notification that they're targeting law firms through callback phishing and social engineering attacks. So I don't know. I mean, what's the best way to protect against something like this? And
This
take your own advice.
This is the-
'cause evidently I'm no good at it.
This is the same thing that it always is. Similar to I think my story touches on this a little bit today, but it's process. It's process and policy.
And
That's
training.
and training. It's the people side of the equation. So this is definitely a social engineering hack. So you come in and you say, "Hey, I'm here from the company. I'm here, your IT service provider. I'm here to take care of the computers." A lot of these law firms are going to have what's called an MSP, which is a managed service provider.
Yeah.
I used to work at one of these before they were called MSPs, back when we were just called value-added resellers.
Right.
And we had service contracts with people, and they would call us, and we would have somebody there within 4 hours, or if they paid more, we'd have somebody there within 2 hours, or if they paid enough, we'd just have somebody that would show up as soon as we got the call.
Right.
But now everybody has MSPs, and they are not unexpected. That they'll show up, and it could be a different guy every single time, because MSPs can be larger companies.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you make of this, Kieran? What's an appropriate level of resistance to give someone who comes knocking on your door?
I mean, one thing is at ThreatLocker, we do have a storage control to stop those pesky USB devices. But in general, a lot of the time is just verifying who they are. It doesn't matter. I know you said you don't like confrontation, but when it comes to security, like here at ThreatLocker, everyone has a badge, and you have to wear it at all times, visible. Even if you're a visitor, you get a visitor badge. You have to check in with security to get that badge. So at least for us, if someone comes knocking, we bring them over to security and they can go through those necessary checks. And I do think that is very, very important.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yep.
So outsource the confrontation.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had something. We had a lot of similar training in my Rapid 7 days years ago, and we went through all these different processes for, what happens if you forget your badge at home that day or lose it when you're out to lunch. And I remember once I actually had to deal with that on the receiving end, and I had to deal with that confrontation. There was an elevator in the building that we were in at the time that was kind of only known to us employees as sort of like the other way to get in, not the main office way to get in. And so a lot of us on our lunch break love to go that way. And there was someone in the hall to enter our office on the correct floor who was like, I lost my badge. Can you just let me in? And I kept telling him, like, you got to go, I reminded him of the process that we'd been trained on, and he got really angry at me. And I remember thinking at the time, like, people are trying to walk into our office all the time. Like, pen testers want to own a security company. Like,
Right.
that's
Right.
they want to do it so badly. But this guy got, like, red in the face. He's like, I work here. You've seen me a million times. I'm like, that might be true, but you still need to go to the front desk. And this guy was like twice my height because I'm 5'1", so everybody's taller than me. So it's like really, he was trying to like impose himself on me and get really up in my face. And I'm like, listen, just do the thing. So I really hope that guy was actually a pen tester.
Right.
Yeah.
I really hope. But it was very uncomfortable. Like I'm 10 years later, I still remember how uncomfortable that made me dealing with that confrontation of this guy getting so mad about
Yeah.
it.
Did you ever find out if he was an actual employee?
You know what? We were, we I don't know how much I want to disclose of this. He was supposedly with our sales team, and sales guys come and go.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
to be
yes,
honest,
they do.
especially like I couldn't keep track of all the sales guys that we had in the bullpen. So
Right.
he might have been, but he had definitely, if he was a real employee, he had been trained on what to do, and he was getting real mad at me. So too bad.
Yeah. I'd have reported him to security just out of spite.
I did. Don't you worry. I was like, by the way, someone was trying to get in without a badge in the back elevator, and that's not good.
Because I've told the story about when I had, we were in like this little vending machine room, and a woman I knew was in there, and somebody else walked in, and she looked at him and she said, hey, where's your badge? And he grabs his chest and he goes, I left it at my desk. And she goes, let's go walk back and get it. And she walked out
Correct.
with, right? Together. And she's like, I'm very sorry. And his response was, you did exactly what was right.
That's right.
And that is
Yep.
the proper response to that challenge. And if
Yep.
somebody doesn't respond that way, they're either a pen tester or they need to be
Or a jerk.
Re-educated.
Re-educated. I wasn't going to say that, but retrained, possibly disciplined by HR. I don't know, because you cannot do that. The security of an organization like that has to be, it has to be the first concern of everybody's position. And where I work now, we have to have badges on all the time, and we're told often that it's everybody's responsibility. If you see someone without a badge, ask for the badge.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I got in trouble once in an elevator for not having the wrong badge. I was working at the museum down in
This is a good story.
DC, and the chief engineer asked me to go up into where there's a part of the facility called Master Control, which is in a broadcast facility, is where all the machines are. And he asked me to go up to Master Control to take care of something. I didn't have normal access to Master Control, so he handed me his badge because you needed a badge in the elevators. I went to the elevator, badged in has him, and like seconds later, the elevator stops, and they're like, who are you?
Oh.
I was like, Dave, why? They're like, you
I'm
are
afraid
not
I
Dennis.
can't do that, Dave.
Yeah, right. They're like, you are not Dennis. I'm like, no. I said, where's Dennis? He gave me his badge. All right, you and Dennis need to come down here right now. And,
They
I didn't
stopped
know
the
that they-
elevator.
well, I didn't know that the elevator had video cameras built in, and that whenever
Some
you
regret.
badged yourself on the elevator down at security, the picture came up of who it was supposed to be. and it got tagged for me not being that person. So me and Dennis both got a good talking to that day. We both learned a valuable lesson that day
Yes.
about sharing badges.
On a very special episode of Dave and Dennis.
Yeah. Dennis was one of those, God rest his soul, he's no longer with us, but Dennis was one of those folks who just didn't really care about the rules. Like he was like, they're talking to, he's like, okay, go ahead, fire me. Do you want your show to go on the air tonight? All right, are we done here? Okay, fine. There's that kind of thing. I was much meeker and did not follow through.
Mm.
All right, we will have a link to this story in the show notes, but in the meantime, particularly if you're a law firm,
Yeah, keep your eyes out.
right. All right, that's what I've got this week. Joe, what do you have for us?
Dave, my story comes from a listener named Michael who lives in the continent/country of Australia.
Oh,
We have a lot of listeners down under.
we do.
Yeah. And he actually wrote this as a letter, and he says, I'm going to start with what I want to start with here. He says, Dave, Joe, and Maria, first, love the podcast Hacking Humans, as well as the daily podcast, Dave. So he listens to you every day.
Very nice.
May I recommend the Sunday show, T-minus Space Cyber Briefing? I just maybe add that to your rotation. Okay.
And here's my favorite part. My daughter is obsessed with the chickens. And apparently they have 15 in a small residential area. So really love hearing Joe's updates and telling her about them. Well, I'm glad that your daughter likes hearing about the chickens, which is awesome. Anyway, he got called upon to help fix a problem that was happening at his daughter's employer, which is a dental surgery outfit.
Huh.
And he is actually a patient there as well. So he gets an email from the dental surgeon, and it is actually from their email address. And it is saying that this is a document. We need you to look at this document, but the document is too big to send. And also, you need to read this document on a desktop or a laptop. It will not be readable on mobile.
Huh.
Again,
What year is it? Okay.
right.
Right. You like red flags going up.
Yep.
Make sure to install Adobe Flash.
Right.
Wait a second.
Michael does, in fact, work in security. So he says his spidey senses were triggered. So he sought some clarification from his daughter. And after a while, she responded that the dental surgery's computer had been hacked somehow. He assumed that it did not have like multi-factor authentication enabled or something, and it got caught. But what had happened was they had received an email from another dental surgery, which is common practice. Sharing a link to a document, the email address, again, legitimate. And this is a normal request to share patient details, as they're not allowed to send these documents.
Right.
So you can't send them an email because that's PHI. I don't know what they call it in Australia, but you can't just email patient health records around.
No,
you have
but
to
you
use
can send a fax.
Right.
If you're back in 1987.
Right.
Or in Japan.
Yeah.
Japan also loves faxes.
So what happened when Michael's daughter's practice received the email is the receptionist clicked on the link. It opened a blank screen, and that was all it did. So they thought it was just an error, and they thought no more about it. They were done.
Huh.
But the next day, about 2,000 of their patients received an email, just like the one Michael had received, with a link to a document going to the same URL. After the investigation, it appears when the original link was clicked, it caused a silent install of something called Screen Connect, which is one of these remote access tools.
Yeah.
It's a legitimate software. So it didn't fire any alerts. No virus things went off. It was a silent install, so nobody noticed anything. Then, here's what's really interesting. At about 7:30 in the morning, before anyone came into the office, and he notes that they had a security camera which showed the computer, a fake Windows Update screen was displayed on the machine's monitor. And behind the scenes, the attackers were extracting the contacts from the mail system, all the patients' email addresses from the mail system.
Wow.
Creating a mail merge with Excel, and they found the Excel file, that was created around the same time, and then sending the emails with the malicious link to groups of about 200 people at a time.
Huh.
The clients who received the email and clicked the link were prompted for login credentials for their email. And this, he notes that's anecdotal. In other words, they called a couple of clients and said, "Hey, you didn't click the link, did you?" And they were like, "Yeah, we clicked the link, but it asked us for our email credentials." They could also have, Michael notes that they could also install Screen Connect as well. So this is looks like it's a manual spreading of this backdoor or this remote administration software.
Yeah, because
So-
the groups of 200 would mean that they wouldn't get hit with those the spam rules, right? So
Right.
essentially, it's still a person-to-person email as opposed to a mass email. So wow, that's so much work.
Yeah, it is. What I found so interesting about the attack, Michael writes, is they used a legitimate software and process to first bypass any MFA and gain access, and then create the spam mail to try and trick others. True living off the land, which is they're doing that. I mean, they're not technically living off the land; they're actually downloading and installing software, but it's not malicious software.
Mm.
Yep.
And because it's a recognized software, again, not going to trigger an antivirus check. They have, for now, disabled the services and removed the files for Screen Connect, changed passwords, and will increase user access control in Windows to ensure that any software install requires approval, which is a great idea. And he says, "I'm not sure how the average person can avoid this, other than extreme paranoia." Well, that's what I advocate. So it's interesting that he points this out, but that's exactly right. If you're on the receiving end as a patient from one of these compromised companies, what do? I mean, if it's going to do a silent install on your system, I've lost my Windows administration capabilities years ago. So I don't know if that
Someone took the keys away.
Completely atrophied.
right, they're completely atrophied. So I don't know if I could stop this from happening to me if someone sent some kind of drive-by download like this.
Well, let's back up, and I want to get Kieran's take on this sort of from the outset. I mean, what do you suppose was going on with this original, I'm using air quotes here, empty email that started all of this?
Yeah, so I mean, we've seen attacks like these before. I mean, I've even made some example ones where I look on the computer if you have 7-zip, if not, download it and ransomware your computer. So it's likely just going to be when you try and open it, it runs that executable. One thing I do want to note is, as you had mentioned, I think that they're limiting the installations. You want to take that a little further and make sure to do allow listing. Small difference, it seems like, but actually huge capability difference.
Yeah, that's like whitelisting, you're saying.
Yeah, whitelisting.
Yeah.
Allow listing. Yep. Mhm.
Yeah, we ran actually a webinar, myself and Chief Product Officer Rob from ThreatLocker earlier last year, and I had 5 ransomware samples. I was a user, not an admin, couldn't install anything. All 5 ran. So it's super, super important to do allow listing, whitelisting, whatever you call it. And then don't be clicking on links. I know it's
Dang it.
Maria, you listening?
tough. That's why you can never really, no matter how much training you have, users are going to do what users do.
Users are going to do user
Users
stuff.
are going to user.
Users going to use.
Yeah, some layer 8 issues will happen.
Right.
So you want to make sure to put those controls in place so that whatever they do, we control.
What do we suppose they're ultimately after here? I mean, it seems like the part that we have visibility into was about expanding their reach.
Right.
But there's nothing in this story about any sort of monetary theft or anything like that. Kieran, do you think they're just biding their time?
Yeah, I mean, I would think that eventually they would try and pivot into extracting money. One thing we see common with a business email compromise, something like that, is where they will then reach out to a vendor or someone trying to make a payment and say, hey, our payment information has changed, send it to this bank instead. So I could really see that being one of the targets. Or also, depending on what information that vendor has, it could be more sensitive information, like your bank account information, your address, email, any sort of government ID that you provided could be included in your information.
Yeah, I guess, and we've medical information is more valuable than just run-of-the-mill personal information, right?
It is. It's like 7 times the value on the black market.
And they can get really, really, really targeted phishing attacks.
Mhm.
Instead of, hey, so-and-so, here's something. It's they give you a call a day before your dentist appointment that, they now have access to know, hey, we've changed to this, or you need to update your information, or whatever it may be. They get that really, really specific data on you.
Right.
Yeah, nobody's really expecting a scam or a phish from their dentist office. That just
Yeah.
feels, wow. Because
Right.
it's like nobody likes going to begin with. So,
There's enough pain as it is.
yeah. Dang.
Now I have to go pay them in advance to hurt me?
Yeah.
Make my gums bleed?
I happen to be friends with my dentist, and, I've known him for probably, 20, 30 years now. And I was recently at his office, and he has this really cool, like, X-ray scanning thing that does this panoramic view of your entire jaw, and the printout of it, or the view of it on the computer is in 3D, so you can move it all around. But it looks kind of like the creature from Alien.
You look like a xenomorph.
Yeah, you look like a xenomorph with all.
Oh,
and you're
yeah.
like, that's scary. But
You got a little mouth inside?
right? Well,
Put little
some of
Dave
us,
Bittner.
some of us do, yeah.
Right.
But on the machine that did this was a little sticky note with the username and password.
Ah.
And I
I'm
said,
going to irradiate a lot of people.
I said, Doc, I know, it's probably okay, but just humor me.
Right. Please don't have this sitting on there when I come in.
I can't let it go without just saying something. And when I'm done saying it, do what you will, but you have been warned. So.
Yep. Finally,
At least he
Michael
changed the
says he
admin.
loves the podcast and he loves the chickens. So, Michael, I'm happy to talk about my chickens whenever I can, but not this week. We're not doing it this week. Except
Yeah.
for the fact that some of our listeners just love hearing about the chickens.
Karen, since you're new to the show, you're probably scratching your head and wondering what the heck we're talking about when it comes to chickens. Joe actually raises chickens on his vast palatial estate.
Yes.
So we've been sort of monitoring his journey from first starting with his chickens to where he is today. And it's about 50-50. About half of our listeners really enjoy hearing the chicken updates. And then the other half we get letters from saying, please get to the show. So
How do the hosts feel about it?
I like the chickens.
I like the chicken
Yeah,
stories.
I like the chicken stories. I'm just someday maybe my friend Joe will bring me some eggs.
Dave, you know what? I will bring you some eggs next week. Sorry about that, Dave.
Just shamed
bribery.
him into it, right?
Bribery.
I brought some eggs in for one of my coworkers today, and she was very excited.
There you go. Some fresh eggs.
Yes.
All right, we will have a link to that story in the show notes. Let's take a quick break here to hear from our show sponsor. We'll be right back after this message. Most environments trust far more than they should, and attackers know it. ThreatLocker solves that by enforcing default deny at the point of execution. With ThreatLocker Allow listing, you stop unknown executables cold. With ring fencing, you control how trusted applications behave. And with ThreatLocker DAC, Defense Against Configurations, you get real assurance that your environment is free of misconfigurations and clear visibility into whether you meet compliance standards. ThreatLocker is the simplest way to enforce zero-trust principles without the operational pain. It's powerful protection that gives CISOs real visibility, real control, and real peace of mind. ThreatLocker makes zero trust attainable even for small security teams. See why thousands of organizations choose ThreatLocker to minimize alert fatigue, stop ransomware at the source, and regain control over their environments. Schedule your demo at threatlocker.com/N2K today. And we are back. Maria, you're up. What you got for us this week?
got a short story today. I feel like a lot of my segments are, what is AI doing now and how is it making scams a lot worse?
What's that crazy
so-
AI up to?
Yeah, I mean, I try not to have it be every week. Here's a new thing that people are using AI to do terrible things with, but that's what my story is this week. Because I've been seeing this specific story making the rounds in very mainstream media, and that always catches my attention when that happens. Mainly because it's nice to see these stories making their way in the non-infosec spheres. It's good for awareness and it's good for people to understand what's going on. So some of our listeners may be like, I knew about this one, but listen, your family might not have. So please tell them about this, okay?
Right.
So we've talked a bunch of times about how voice cloning with AI is trivial, like can be done in seconds. Heaven knows all of us on a podcast.
Yeah. Right.
There's a lot of material for AI to work with, and I've had to have this conversation with my loved ones many times about what we need to do about that. So there's a scam that affected a woman in San Francisco where she lost $5,400 to scammers because of an AI voice cloning scam. This one specifically said the scammer used artificial intelligence to mimic the voice of her 37-year-old daughter. And I'm just going to read the quote from her. She said, "It was my daughter's voice having an absolute panic attack, scared, telling me, 'I love you, Mom. I'm so sorry. I'm so scared.' And then the scammers, just cut her off." So essentially, the scammers were posing as kidnappers. And the whole scam call was basically saying, your daughter's been kidnapped, and if you want her to be alive, you got to pay us this ransom money. Now, on the outset, I'm sure a lot of us might be very skeptical, going, who would fall for something like that? But if you hear a voice that sounds really realistic, this was actually, I'm very glad I found this story because it prompted a really good conversation with my family because I sent it around on the group chat. It's one of those things like even if you think how you could tell, I know my loved one wouldn't sound like that. I could totally tell if it's AI. If you think they're having a panic attack and also they're being held at gunpoint for ransom, it would, all of that fear would just completely override your common sense circuitry.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I was just like, yeah, I've had all these conversations with my family about how we would try and figure out what's real and what's not. And this one made me go, you know what? I think people could easily fall for it.
Yeah.
Because I would
absolutely.
just
The
be
stakes
like,
are very high in this one. I mean,
you get that one wrong, it's catastrophic.
yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I mean, this is like the ultimate, the ultimate short circuit for any parent's brain.
Yeah.
These people are just horrid people. I mean, first off, they're scammers, but they're not even respectable. They're the worst kind of scammers.
Yeah. Yeah. So the woman in question, her name is Deborah Del Mastro, and I'm naming her because she's been really brave and going on national news, including Good Morning America, telling people about what happened to her. So she lost that money to scammers. Her daughter's fine. After she wired the money to the scammers, she actually then called her daughter's phone just to verify, like, actually, was that real? In an ideal world, the two things would have been switched, but I can completely understand why that didn't happen.
Right.
So to me, this is like flavor of the week of what people are doing with AI. Because again, I know for many of us, we have like code words or other things, but if you think that person's being held at gunpoint and they're having a panic attack, I could totally believe them not being able to get a code word out if they've got like 2 seconds to talk to you. So that's pretty gross. I just wanted to make sure people knew about this one, and definitely I've seen this in People magazine. It's been on Good Morning America. So it's a good thing to talk to your family or friends about because this one's pretty nasty.
What do you make of this one, Kieran? Something as human and person to person as this?
Yeah, I mean, one thing that you said that I really liked, where I believe her name was Deborah, is speaking out about this. Like, anyone can fall for things like this. We've had engineers fall for phishing scams. It's you're not an idiot just because you click the link. And it's really good to talk about it, educate people. It sparks conversation like these where we're able to talk about it. But AI, unfortunately, for better or for worse, it's here and it's just going to get better. These scams are going to get easier, quicker, all of that. So you just have to have those conversations and try your best. I mean, there is no real great answer because, like you said, when you're in that panic attack, you're panicking. Your daughter was just kidnapped and held at gunpoint. It's really, really tough to act rationally.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You say, let me put you on hold while I call my,
Let me
and you just-
externally verify. I'll call you back, kidnappers.
Right. Right. I mean, even saying to, what's the password? What's the password? If the scammers say, I can't remember, and it's in your daughter's voice, what are you
But
going to do? And what's the risk reward here? I mean, I'd turn over the money.
Yeah, and it sounds like they hung up right after faking having the daughter say that. So it's not like there was even time for some back and forth conversation to happen.
Yeah, they were doing the whole, hey, we're just telling you this, we're dropping this bomb and we're out. So there's no chance of them messing it up after that point. They're just done.
Yeah.
So yeah, what a nasty one. It's just super nasty.
Yeah. I'm
Gross.
trying to think. I mean, like, Joe, can you think of any way to short circuit this? I just can't.
The family password is one way, but again, you're right. It is such a high stakes thing. I mean, my tactic would be, I don't know what my tactic would be in this situation. I have fortunately never been targeted by this, but saying, hey, look, I don't have that kind of cash just laying around. It's going to take me a day to sell some money markets, and then I can wire the money tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right.
Delay.
Delay.
See if that'll help.
Yeah, that's smart.
One
Yeah.
thing you can also do is, honestly, people really shouldn't be answering the phone to unknown numbers super often. If you are expecting a call from your doctor or whatever, you can add those to your list, your contact list. If someone needs you, they can leave a voicemail. For me, honestly, I don't really answer unknown numbers. I'm actually really lucky. I have a phone number from when I moved from a couple cities away. So any phone number that's actually from my zip code, I don't answer because those are almost always going to be phishing.
Yeah.
Right.
But in general, just not answering the phone, wait for that voicemail, and then respond. That way it wouldn't be so on the moment. The scammers or in this case the fake kidnappers are not on the line, and you're thinking that your daughter's there. You're able to kind of have a moment, collect yourself, listen to it, take action.
Yeah. That's a great idea, Karen. This reminds me of an old 80s stand-up bit where a guy says he had got an answering machine. It was the best thing in the world. And he just doesn't answer the phone anymore. And his friend said, hey, I called you and you never called me back. He says, well, you didn't leave a message. Your message is the opportunity for you to plead your case as to why I should pick up.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I think, while humorous, that is exactly right. I mean, because if somebody calls you and they say, we have your daughter, you're not calling them back. You're calling your daughter first, right?
Yeah.
Are you okay? Yeah. Okay, I can delete this message.
It's like the concept, Kieran, it's a great thing that you just mentioned. It's like the concept, I just got one of those devices that helps me block a bunch of apps on my phone. The idea of building in friction in our lives to just slow down a lot of stuff. What you're suggesting is a great way of doing that too. Just building in a little bit of friction to give yourself some time and as Joe said, plead the case for the scammers. And I wanted to add a little addendum because I just saw this quote in the People magazine story. This is again from Del Mastro, and she said, I'm a Navy veteran and I'm usually very good in a crisis, and I totally believed this guy had my daughter. So again, truly, I just want to give her kudos for going so publicly with the
Deborah,
story.
thank you so much for coming forward with this. This sucks that this happened to you, but the fact that you come out and you say what happened to you and you lay it all out, that's the only way we solve these things.
Yeah.
And
information sharing.
We all think about how we would try to handle something like this, but none of us know.
Yeah.
None of us know how we would actually respond in an emergency situation.
I'll bring it up again. Kieran hasn't heard this story, but I got a scam call from someone impersonating my county sheriff department.
Yeah.
And I handled it properly, but it was not as psychologically easy as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
It took me going, my cognitive processes and me leaning into them and not letting any emotional processes take over. But that was a struggle. As unemotional as I tend to be.
Robot Joe.
Right.
As robotic and heartless as you are.
Yes.
That day your heart grew through 3 sizes.
Yeah.
The problem with, as the defender, you have to be right every single time, whereas the attacker only has to be right once.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly it.
And I guess to Maria's point, or actually to Kieran's point also about not answering the phone, I'm guessing that the bad guys in this case are not going to leave a message, right? They'll just
Hello,
move
we
on.
are kidnappers.
Right.
Please
Yeah.
call us back at the following number.
Yeah.
But they've gone through through all the legwork of cloning a specific person's daughter. Daughter's voice. So
That I'm sure can be automated in milliseconds now, though.
Yeah,
I
you're
mean,
probably
it's
right.
like I cannot imagine. I mean, you just need a second or two of audio from anyone to make a voice
Yeah.
clone. It doesn't take very much. So
They
I'm sure
probably-
this is all automated. I can't imagine there's a real person doing all that.
And they
manually.
might just keep calling and calling and calling till,
Yeah.
out of exasperation, you're like, what?
what do you want?
Did any of you have a friend who does that, where if you go to voicemail, they immediately call you back again?
In our family, that's the code for there's an emergency I need you to pick up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like if I'm in a meeting and I see that my wife is calling, I decline the call. If she calls back, I'll step out of the meeting to answer it.
Yeah.
Because that's the system we've set up. But no, I if I had someone in my life like that, I'd weed them out.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the someone's in a hospital level of call.
Right.
Like, don't bother me otherwise. That's crazy.
Or he cried
yeah.
wolf.
Yeah,
Yes,
seriously,
yes,
exactly.
Exactly. All right. Well, we will have a link to that story in the show notes. Joe, Maria, Kieran, it is time to move on to our catch of the day. So, Kieran, you should read the part that is in gray. I will read the part that is in green. And it goes like this.
Are you free tomorrow?
On a plane to Anchorage.
This is Anne. Is this Nicole's new number?
Nicole died last week.
Oh my God. I just checked the number. I think I entered it wrong. Your number is very similar to my friend's. I hope I didn't bother you.
No bother.
Sorry for the misunderstanding. Thank you for understanding. You are such a kind person.
I'm the one that killed Nicole.
Okay?
Oh, that took a turn.
Yeah, hard right.
Yeah.
That's my dark humor. I was like, okay, that's awesome.
This is someone just copying and pasting the standard "I entered the wrong number" script.
Yeah.
Like when the person says Nicole died last week, they don't even bother acknowledging that. They just go, "Oh, I checked the wrong number. I entered the wrong number." They just go on with the script.
Right. Yeah, so obviously this is someone's valiant attempt at short-circuiting that and cutting it off, which I think they probably effectively did.
Here's hoping.
Yeah.
That or they just told them it's a real number, and now they're going to get lots more spam.
Right, absolutely. All right, well, we would love to hear from you. If there's something you'd like us to consider for our catch of the day, you can email us. It's hackinghumans@n2k.com. Most environments trust too much, and attackers know it. ThreatLocker enforces default deny at execution, blocks unknown apps, and limits what trusted apps can do. Stop ransomware at the source. Get your demo at threatlocker.com/n2k. And that is our show, brought to you by N2K Cyberwire. We want to thank our very special guest, Kieran Human, lead cybersecurity engineer at ThreatLocker, for joining us. Kieran, hope you had a good time.
I did. Thank you very much.
No, great. Please come back anytime. We'd love to know what you think of this podcast. Your feedback ensures we deliver the insights that keep you a step ahead in the rapidly changing world of cybersecurity. If you like our show, please share a rating and review in your favorite podcast app. Please also fill out the survey in the show notes or send an email to hackinghumans@n2k.com. This episode is produced by Liz Stokes. Our executive producer is Jennifer Iben. We're mixed by Elliot Peltzman and Trey Hester. Peter Kilpie is our publisher. I'm Dave Bittner.
I'm Joe Kerrigan.
And I'm Maria Varmazis.
And I'm Kieran Human.
Thanks for listening.